Hello everyone and thanks for hanging out with me. Now let's do likes, quirks and dislikes of this car. And with quirks I mean stuff that's not so great but it's still okay. It's not a dislike. Maybe the wrong description. Doesn't matter. First of all, let's start with the likes, because this is always the most fun. And it's also the most fun that this car finally has a 100 kilowatt motor, 136 horsepower, and it makes the Zoe fun. Finally you can pass the car and you feel electric power. Before Zoe had maximum of 92 horsepower. It was okay. It was, for a small car, it was fine, but it wasn't electric fun. Now it is, and that's just great. The range and consumption is really good. I was very surprised. I saw Björn Nyland's video and he said that the available energy was very low, but in my tests I had 48 to 50 kilowatt hours of battery usable energy, and I think that's amazing. Consumption at 90 kilometers an hour was 122 watt hours per kilometer. I think that's okay for a car this size. I'm totally fine with that. I like the headroom in the front. There are no, you cannot adjust the seat in height, but look at me. Look, I'm 180, so 6 feet. I still have a lot of headroom in there. It's different in the back seats. That comes with the dislikes. Of course, a small car like this has 22 kilowatt AC charging. That's very unusual for a city car or a smaller car, but the Zoe always had that and they kept it. There's lots of space in the trunk. I was very surprised. They redid the whole trunk. It is really, it fits a lot, and then there's the second compartment underneath for the cable. Really great. In this car, of course, we have perfect traction because Renault decided to reduce the power a lot when you do acceleration from a standstill. So it's always there. Whee! It's fun. 4 USB ports in this car. Awesome. USB-A, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. You have LED lights in the front, in the back, and you even have a special cornering light when you drive under 50 kilometers an hour. Then they turn on when you steer strongly to the left or to the right, and the lights look amazing. For me, always a thing, some people don't like it, but I do, is to have the Chargeport in the front. I just like it. It's nice to drive to the charger, and also they don't have thingies that hang off for the CCS plug when you unplug it. It's just little thingies that just pop off. It's not that they're hanging around. A great thing for me, I love to drive in B, and this car, when you put it in B, it remembers that. So when you go into reverse and then back, you're still in B, not D, like the other cars where you always have to do D and B again. And when you are in D, it remembers that. So everyone is happy. Now let's go to the quirks. So some things that are not so amazing, but it's okay. They can work on it. First, navigation. Not very fast, and sometimes it doesn't do anything. I already had it too, that I couldn't put in anything to search. It just didn't come up. I don't know why. And overall it's not very good. But when you can use Android Auto now in the Zoe, you could do before but just with a trick, but now it's just normal. And of course Apple CarPlay as well. And in that screen with that format, Google Maps just works amazing and looks great. It's weird that when you want to do preconditioning with your app, or even in the car when you said that tomorrow at 6 AM you want it to be preconditioned, you cannot set the temperature. So I still don't know if the car just uses the temperature from the last time when I was in the car, which would be stupid, or if Renault just said, it's warm outside, Heath, I'm sure he wants 20 degrees, or maybe it's always 20 degrees, I don't know. And then you cannot start preconditioning when the battery is under 40%. And hello, 40% in this car, is still, with a 52 kilowatt hour battery, that's a lot. So shouldn't be any problem, especially in the summer when you use air conditioning. No parking gear. You really have to get used to that there's no P. You have reverse, neutral, D and B, and that's it. So you leave it in B or whatever you are, or reverse, put your handbrake on, step off the brake, and then you can put it into neutral, but you can turn it off before as well. I just did do that because it's so weird to not have a P. I don't know, it's never had that in any other electric car. The cruise control speed change is weird. So let me show you that. I put cruise control, let's go a bit faster, at 106. First of all, you can see that cruise control is on, but I have to press it away. It goes away after, I don't know why, but it's annoying. But now let's look at the power. Now I will slow down to 105. What does it do? It brakes and then accelerates again. How stupid is that? It should just give less power till we are at that speed. So, not good. Needs improvement. The car can only charge, I've seen it in a few Ionity chargers, with 125 amp. And with that and the voltage of the battery, of course in the beginning the voltage is lower, I think 357 volt, and then at peak it's a bit above 400. So your charging curve goes up till you reach around 45 kilowatt, and then it gradually goes down. But with the 125 amp, that means that you don't have to use high power chargers. With the Ioniq and other cars, high power chargers are still okay because they can charge with more amps. But a triple charger, a normal 50 kilowatt triple charger, charges with a maximum of 125 amps, and therefore that's all you need. There's not a real space for your smartphone. I mean, there is, especially in this intense version, there's the wireless charging here underneath. And when I put my phone there that doesn't have wireless charging, it complains that there's a metal object on there. And when it's laying there and you plug it in and the USB in the front, then the cable is on the side. It's weird. And where the USB plugs are, a normal phone, or today a phone, doesn't fit in there when it's plugged in. When I unplug it, it fits just like so, but not really good. The key, look at this. This should be a key. Yeah, I get it. It's the same as the old Zoe. It's, I don't know, futuristic or something. But for me, a key to a car should be with the key of my house or whatever, where I need keys, so everything is together. Now I have to think about the key for the car and the key for the house. And now let's go to the dislikes. First of all, it's missing basic electric car features that a car in 2020 should have. Charge limit. There is no charge limit. It always charges to 100%. I want a charge limit set to 80% or something, so degradation of the battery is being slowed down. Second, display of the charging speed. Doesn't have that. Not there. No space in the back seats for grown-ups. If you have kids or dogs in the back, totally fine. But grown-ups, when I sit here, I'm 180, 6 feet, like I said before. When I sit here, I have no space behind me, and the height is restricted, and the headrest doesn't even go up to my head, and it's totally in my back. It's weird because the back seats are higher than the front. It's a shame that a car with the maximum feature package like this car doesn't have seat heaters as standard. You always have to buy them extra with the winter package. It's 400 something euros, and then you get seat heaters, steering wheel in leather with a steering wheel heater. No adaptive cruise control for 34,000 euros. What a good spec Zoe ZE50 R135 costs. No adaptive cruise control. Top speed only 145. It's better than the old Zoe with 135, but still 160 should have been fine. This car with that power easily can do 180, like the Ioniq would be no problem, but they just decided not to do that. For me, I have very long feet, but I don't have wide feet. I'm pretty narrow feet, but I barely have space between the pedals. So the brake pedal is so close to the accelerator pedal that I have to put my foot all the way to the right. So when I move the accelerator pedal, I don't scrape on the brake pedal. That was a hard adjustment to get used to that. I'm okay with it now, but I really have to put my foot all the way to the right, and then I'm scrubbing on the right side the whole time. The seats, my biggest thing. Those seats, I'm sorry, they're horrible. I drove with it 4 hours for a range test. Really horrible. There's no lumbar support at all. There's just a hole. They're amazingly soft. And it's weird. You're not in place when you do cornering. They have no side support. Really not a good seat. And my wife is only 5 feet, so 150. She said that the seating cushion where you sit on is way too big for a short person. Your knees are still on the seat and don't go over. No. And the weirdest thing is, I don't know about heat, but I guess so, but I experienced no air conditioning while charging. And 2 days ago I was in 30 degrees charging for 80 minutes, and I wasn't sitting in the car because it was way too hard. I tried in the car to start the air conditioning, and the fans are going, but it's not cooling. Then when you try to start the car, so press the brake pedal and start, then charging is interrupted, so this doesn't work. I tried starting the air conditioning with the app, didn't work. I tried a climate program, so I set it to cool down in half an hour or in 10 minutes, didn't work. Tried cool down in the past, so already now, didn't work. And I gave up, and I just wasn't in the car. And in the winter, if the heat doesn't work, again, with this car, when you do a long distance driving, which you shouldn't with the seats, they're not a good thing. Why? Maybe there is a way to do that, but then it's so complicated. Why doesn't it just work like in any other electric car I've been in? I don't see the point. But that's it. Enough of me complaining and liking. Thank you much for watching. Have a great day and take care. Bye. Still fun to drive though. That's what it's all about.